Well, hi y'all. How you
Hello,
doing?
hello.
I
How is
want to ask,
everybody?
how was everybody's weekend? I hope everybody had a wonderful Labor Day weekend. I labored. I
uh,
labored. I labored a lot. I had to, I had to cook and do all that kind of stuff.
yeah,
Oh my word!
well, we went to the Renaissance Festival on.
Oh, I bet that was fun.
Yeah, yeah. We took Ellie Mae. She's got a little costume, and
I,
she'll have it for a couple of years.
I saw that picture. That was really cool. That was super cool. And I hope everybody else had a good weekend. Y'all had a good weekend because I did a lot of deep diving on our topic tonight.
Hey, did you hear that Walls got in a car accident?
Did someone run over him?
No, it
No.
was the vans with the press and the assistants or whatever in it.
Mm-hmm.
And one slammed on his brakes and got rear-ended, and then it got rear-ended, and one of the I don't know if it's staff member or the press has a broken arm.
Well, maybe he had a box of tampons with him so he could stop the bleeding.
Maybe.
Maybe because he's he's the distributor of that kind of stuff. Whether you are male or female, you need
Yes.
one. For what? I'm not sure. But anyway, so we are going to do a deep dive into this Hells Angels going to Aurora, Colorado.
Coming to the rescue.
They're going to run to the rescue and they're going to save y'all in Aurora, Colorado. Now, first of all, I got to say, I don't doubt that it's not happening. In fact, I can almost guarantee you it's happening. I'm sure the Venezuela gang is taking over many complexes and not just the one. You know that they came over and they were strategically put in areas to do what they're doing. And we as American people need to stand up for ourselves and not worry about who's going to come save us, right? Because really, y'all, really, the Hells Angels ain't got no skin in this game. The only way they would show up to do something like that is if one of their own got hurt.
Right.
I'm just saying. And I don't think they would put it out on social media. I mean, I think there are
Yeah.
people a lot smarter than that. If they were going to come down there and take care of business, you'd find out after it was done. Just saying. But everybody's screaming home. They're going, they're coming, they're coming. Why? I lived in Colorado for a while, and I got to tell you, I don't believe there's a home there without a gun. I don't believe. In fact, if you don't have one, you got a heck of a lot more than one.
Right.
And I think it's going to come to the point where we as Americans are going to have to stand up ourselves and not wait for someone to come save us. You know, these people are all clapping, yay, 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 they're coming to save us. What's going to happen when it comes to your own front door? That's all I got to say. Are you going to call the Hells Angels to come help you then? Because this isn't the only place this is happening right now. It's not just Aurora. I was looking and I thought, Aurora was the warning sign. Now it's coming out that it's not only Aurora, Colorado, but it is in Chicago and it's in Dallas and it's probably over there in Michigan somewhere.
It is Oakland County.
So there you go. And I'm sure it's in California if you look hard enough.
Right, Royal Apple.
No, we didn't. Do you think, Royal Apple, that if they would have told us this was their plan and they were going to bring in all these people to do what they were going to do you think that, well, I don't know, maybe the American people would have said, go ahead. Maybe we'll call somebody and, maybe we'll call for help. No, we are our own help.
Common sense would just tell you something's not right when you're getting people from Venezuela and you're getting people from Nicaragua and you're getting people from Brazil, and they're all men.
And they're all fighting age men. These are, and Asia, now we're getting Asian people. They're coming in. New York is going bad too. Well, there's people in New York, I'm sure. You guys, think about it. Think about it. This was all in the plan. Y'all, it was all in the plan. And today, I got news for you. I'm sorry, because you know what? When I get excited, my voice tone goes up a little bit, a couple of hairs. So I'm going to turn that voice down just a little bit. But I'm going to tell you this. Today, our wonderful... I don't think Biden's running the country, y'all. I think he's someplace doing some kind of vacationing. But supposedly, he told Netanyahu that they are to release our hostages or forget it. You think Hamas is afraid of Joe Biden? Really? Think anyone's afraid of Joe Biden?
Royal Apple, I love New York, and I've been there several times, the city, and I've been to Brooklyn. And what are you talking about? What happened today? Is it the protests? Is it the slashing on the subway? What part?
It's always something new.
Yeah, what part are you asking about? Because I believe there were 2 people cut on the subway, one on the subway and one on the L train, which is a subway. But
I have family members that live in Colorado, and I was talking to them a little bit. And the one apartment complex that's in the news that you hear that's going on in our Aurora, it's not just one. It's not just one. It's a lot of them. And they're the one that they're showing is in the poor area. No, there's some in the richer areas that are being taken over too. But the governor is a marshmallow, just like what's running our country. The governor don't care. He's all along with the plan, with going along with what Biden and Harris wants. Come on, y'all. It's absolutely tyranny what they're doing to us as American people, and we're just sitting back going, well, we have got a shortage of teachers. We have a shortage of teachers. What do you think that, now, they brought that out there. Come on, guys, put your head around that. Wrap your head around that one. Your kids are going to be home before too long learning off the computer from AI. Think about it. I don't know what they'll do with the schools. They'll figure out something, I'm sure. They'll just
turn them into apartments.
Yeah, for more refugees.
Sure. They're not refugees.
Yeah, they're not. They're planted here for a reason. And they're coming from everywhere. And we've got a bunch of them right now that's getting ready to come across the border in El Paso that are coming through Chihuahua. And they're coming, and they're from Venezuela. Although I did hear Abbott has the National Guard down there waiting for him. Now, see, this is what I'm telling y'all. Was that in the news? Did you hear that? No, you're not going to hear that because they don't want you to know what they are doing.
That's a conspiracy theory, Connie. Come on.
Oh, you know they want us all. They want us all to know. They want us all to know their plan. No, they don't. No, they don't. You know, there's a guy that's on YouTube, and his name is what is his name? border wars, and he
Yes.
films them and shows them coming across all the time. And we're not. What did they say? Oh well, Trump stopped the best border law that we were going to have yet. They wanted 3,500 a day is what they wanted. That's why they said no, we're not going to pass that with all the other pork you got all wrapped up in it.
Right. Right.
There's organized crime everywhere, Royal Apple.
Right.
It's
But
everywhere.
can I tell you something? Honestly, when it comes down to it, everybody's blaming Trump for not, letting that bill pass.
I know it.
Here's my question. Does he have a vote?
No, he doesn't have a vote. He wasn't even president.
Oh, okay.
But they said, oh no, he told everybody not to.
And they all listen like,
You're right, Royal Apple. Nobody's going to help the Colorado people. They're not. The Colorado people are going to have to stand up. And I'm going to tell you right now, I lived in Colorado for a while, and there is some tough hombres that live in Colorado. When they've had enough, they will band together. And I'm telling you what, it won't be a pretty sight, because there isn't a home in Colorado right now without a gun. I'd be surprised if there's one house without a gun.
right.
You got your hunters down there, and if when it comes to push comes to shove, they will all band together, because Colorado people are actually pretty tight people.
Right.
And they haven't been happy with what's been going on the whole time.
Right. Hello, Brad Britt.
Well, hello, Brad
Welcome.
Britt. Welcome. Please like and subscribe. You're a new face to us. I would like to say that it's going to take the American people to stand up. Y'all, eventually you're going to have to stand up. If it ain't now, it's going to be soon. Because how much are you going to take?
Right.
The National Guard works for the government, Royal Apple. The government, if the government is doing what they're doing to us, you think the National Guard's going to help us in these other states? They're not.
No, they can't.
Nah.
They won't activate the National Guard. And you won't hear about anything on the news. The only thing you may hear about, if it's true that they made their way there, and if it's not true that they didn't make their way there, they'll say they didn't, and then they'll say hundreds of bikers was arrested for fill in the blank.
Right. It's another January 6th thing. Think about that for a second. Trump didn't tell those people to go up there and cause all that problem. That was implanted. Can't you see?
It's a trap.
It was a trap.
This is a trap, I think, because there's a lot of other bikers. There's a lot of other clubs out there that it's like, oh hell, let's go have their back. Even though they may not get along, Hell's Angels and whatever, Sons of Anarchy or whatever, they may not get along, but when it comes to something like this, oh yeah, they do.
Do you know that there is how big the Hell's Angels clan is? It is 16.2 million people. 16.2 million. And do you think for 1 second they're going to stick their neck out? Now
they will.
If it's one of their own. If you've done something to one of them, all right.
Or a family member.
Yep. Yeah. They're gonna come in. But they're sure not going to tell you on social media that they're coming in.
No.
You're going to find out after it's already over and gone. Somebody came in, took care of business. But you know what? These biker people, and I love all of them. They're good people. Some of them are real good people. Some of them are a little crazy, but they're good people.
They have good hearts for children.
They all have their areas. All right. You've got the Sons of Silence. I thought, now if I remember correctly, the Sons of Silence were Colorado. But you got the Sons of Anarchy, you've got the Banditos, you got the Mongols, I mean, there's one right, and they're not small little clubs. Let me tell you, there's a bunch of them.
No, we got the vigilantes here.
Royal Apple, yes, I can tell you for a matter of fact that it's not just one apartment that's been taken over. It's many
It's a
apartments. Complexes. Not just one. There's
Right.
many. But they're going to have to, like I said, the people are going to have to stand up. Plain and simple.
Well, yeah, I mean, at some point, but they're not saying which apartment complexes. So is it apartment complexes that have like families in it? Is it a senior complex? If it's a senior complex, trust me, they're running rampant in that place because those poor little seniors, they're afraid.
You know what? I saw an interview with a lady, and she said that she called the cops to come help her, and they wouldn't come. So they moved her out of there. She moved out. She said, "I'm so happy to be gone." She said it was a screaming fight or a shooting or something going on every night over there. But you guys stop to think the one they're showing right now is everybody's got their bad area town, know.
Sure.
And this one is right off of Colfax where all of the hookers and everything hang out. And it's been bad for years and years and years and years. But they're not telling you about the ones that are not in hooker areas, that are in real nice areas that have been taken over.
Well, that's what happened to here. It's in the nice areas, and they started out with a group of like 3 or 4.
Right.
And now it's ginormous how many Venezuelans, and they've got different groups in this city and in this city, all within the same county. But in this city, in this city, in this city, they've been doing it all summer long and growing and growing and growing. And they have no problem with walking in your house when you're sleeping.
No.
Best for you just to lay there and act like you're asleep.
That's what they're doing in every country, don't you think? They're not just embedding them here. They're embedding them everywhere. Look okay, you know what? If you look and see what's going on in the UK right now, they're fighting and carrying on, and they're not even allowed to carry a gun in the UK. That's against the law. They're not even allowed to own a gun in the UK. That's the difference between the UK and us. We can have a gun.
Right.
There was a comment made one time, and I can't remember who said it, but it was the smartest comment I ever heard. Do you know they said that America will never be able to have a war that will come in and take over, but they can embed them inside, and they can bring it down from within.
Yep.
And they were afraid. People were afraid because they said Americans they're loaded to the gills. Yeah. All the Americans, except for, there's some that aren't because they want somebody else to take care of them. But everybody I know is going to take care of their own.
My grandma.
Lord have mercy if anyone comes walking into my house or one of my family members' house, because you know what? If they got out the door, they'd have a bullet and they'd be facing where they'd look like they're coming back in. We'd drag them right back in.
You know what, Connie? My grandma had been saying that since the 70s.
Yes, ma'am.
And you know what she said? They didn't learn nothing from Pearl Harbor, did they?
Nope.
And Royal Apple, about that, what you were asking about New York, yes, 2 of his aides were arrested because they're Chinese spies.
There you go. Well, I didn't hear about that, but you know what doesn't surprise me? And does it surprise you? Does it surprise you? Do you know?
We knew they were in New York. We knew I believe they were in Brooklyn too. We knew they were in New York.
Nancy Pelosi is always so drunk that she can't even talk most of the time. And everything she says comes out stupid. And I'm going to tell you right now. Now, let me tell you something here. Fox reporters stopped Nancy Pelosi while she was on a golf cart at the DNC meeting and she had a stupid mask on. You know what? COVID ain't never gonna touch her, because you know what? Devil don't want to give up his seat. Is the real truth. I can't stand that woman, but I'm gonna tell you. They asked her, well, why don't you think Harris and Trump can't have a debate on Fox? And she goes, oh, that is quote unquote. Oh, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard anyone say, that they need to debate about a Fox. Nancy, come to reality. They were talking about the news channel, not the animal. She's not with it. She's not any brighter than Biden. I'm telling you right now, she's not. But
I think
she's
been on the beach too much too.
Well, I think she's been dipping a little bit too much in the vodka bottle.
That too.
Well, here's the deal, Royal Apple. If you look and see where all of these places that are being taken over, they're soft blue areas. You know, it's the soft people. It's the people that give up your gun. Don't protect yourself. Let the government give you a check every day and keep your mouth shut. You know, these soft people went into Colorado and look what they did to it. Colorado used to be a really nice place. Now they're even making shrooms legal. I mean, it's unbelievable to me. It ain't the same state that I used to know.
I have no problem with marijuana being legal. I just don't. I don't have any problem with it. I don't have any problem with the federal government allowing it to be legal. I mean, they have it classed as a class 1 drug, which is just absolutely stupid, because have you ever heard that somebody was high on marijuana and went berserk and killed somebody?
No, but I'm going to tell you this. I'll tell you this about that. What scares me is it ain't the marijuana that we grew up with right now. True. It's laced with double stuff, and they're doing stuff to it. You know what? Cigarettes ain't even the same thing as when we were growing up. They've added more nicotine to it. They made it more addicting. You know, in fact, Wade Wilson said that he was high. He just smoked a joint, and that's what made him run over that woman. But it was laced with bath salts. Now, whether I believe that or not, you know, that man has lied so much.
Well, I mean, and this is what if it's legal, it's coming from a supplier that's selling it legally from someplace. And if you're stupid enough to buy it off the street, I'm sorry. If you are stupid enough to buy anything off the street, you deserve anything that happens to you.
Not right now.
I'm sorry.
Nope.
You do.
There's too much out there. Fentanyl is they're lacing everything with fentanyl. Mm-hmm. Oh, and by the way, let's talk about that. Where did fentanyl come from, y'all? Tell me that. It sure wasn't Mexico. It sure wasn't Mexico.
Let me guess. I'm going to guess here. This is just China?
Yeah, the same place that came up with COVID.
The same place that came up with monkeypox, too?
Wow. And you know, Xi Jinping isn't running China right now. His daughter is.
That's a lot of tax, Royal Apple.
That is a lot of tax. So it's $14 of tax. See, you know what? I'm telling you. Well, you know what? There you go. California is known for taxing the heck out of people. Expensive all the way around.
Do you know a pack of cigarettes would still be $1 if it wasn't for all the taxes?
Yep. That wouldn't surprise me any.
Well, with Biden inflation, they'd probably be about $5, but you know, without the taxes.
You know, there's a place that's outside of Philadelphia. It's called Kingston.
Yes.
Uh-huh. It is It was the tar capital of the United States. And let me tell you something. Look at it now. When they show some pictures of it, look at it now. You talk about a zombie apocalypse. Those people look like zombies because they're getting a hold of bad fent, and they're you know what? And they are smoking elephant tranquilizers. It's called Trank, and it's eating their skin. It's eating holes in their skin. And instead of us worrying about our people and getting them straight and narrow and be able to get them where they could get a house and live on the straight and narrow, no, we're just going to keep this shit, keep it coming in, just keep it coming in, and eventually the weak will die.
You're absolutely right, Royal Apple. The
Now,
cities
tell me
are
where
filled with
that's right.
zombies. They are.
Tell
They're
me-
zombies. Did you ever look it up on YouTube and look up people? I don't know how to word it, but look up like zombies in inner cities. It is just your mouth just hits the floor like, oh my God, who would ever want to feel like that a day in their life? Because they're like, they'll just like bend over and be like that with their neck bent for hours.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
just, I mean, and just laid out.
Yeah. They just pass right out, whether their legs are up in the
Yeah.
air. One I saw was he passed out over a fence and he was bent over a fence. I don't know how his legs held him there. Must have been caught on the fence. I don't know. But I think it's extremely sad. And I think whoever takes over is, you know what? When Donald Trump said, if you're caught dealing in this drugs and stuff, you will get the death penalty. You know what? I'm behind him 100%. Because what's the difference between a man going out and running over a woman 100 times, or these guys bringing
Right.
this crap in that's killing people and killing them on high levels? What is
Right.
the difference?
They're
In fact,
they're murderers.
they
I
are.
mean, pure and simple. You know what you're putting out on that street. You know what you're putting out on that street.
You
And
know,
you're
when,
doing it willingly.
right. They're so hooked on it, they'll do whatever they need to do to get it.
And then they just keep coming back and keep coming back and keep coming back because they're chasing that dragon. They're chasing that dragon. They're chasing
Right.
that dragon.
Right.
At some point, where's your brain to say, no, man, you've had enough? Just like a bartender.
Right.
No, no more for you.
Right. You're done. You're starting to look scary and you're done. You haven't eaten in a month. And no, sorry. You know, it's not right, y'all. It's not right. And when, and I'm telling you right now, I can promise you right now, as sure as my name is Caddy Connie, I can promise you right now, these people will stand up. They're going to stand up. And when we do, Venezuela, that's going to look like a picnic on what's going on over there, because the United States people will be a lot worse.
Royal Apple, on your young and older want to get high, it's not a fact of getting high, I don't think. It's the fact that they're finding out that CBD and THC, well, cannabis, it helps many, many things.
Right.
It helps arthritis, it helps seizures, it helps fibromyalgia, it helps pain.
It helps pain. It does.
You know, I mean, I have to say, once in a blue moon, yeah, I eat a piece of candy because of my back pain. You all know how bad my back is.
Well, and sometimes you just can't sleep.
Right.
There's
And
people
sometimes you
that are
can't sleep.
sleep deprived. Oh, fentanyl? Yeah, no, fentanyl needs to go away. Yes, it lowers blood pressure. You know what, Brad? I'm going to tell you, I am not against CBD and I'm not against THC. I'm against this fentanyl and this trank and all this other stuff that
Right.
they're bringing in here that
Right.
they have made in laboratories, like they did the C word. And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it, when is enough?
Right. Look, I know somebody that, I'm just gonna say smack,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody knows what it is.
Mm-hmm.
He did smack for years and years and years, and he couldn't get off of it. So finally, he went on methadone through a
Mm-hmm.
clinic. He's been on methadone for 35 years.
Mm-hmm.
Can't get off of methadone.
Well, isn't there another one called Suboxone? The
Maybe,
same thing?
maybe. You can't get off of it. It's
No,
the same thing. You are replacing
with the
the
legal drug.
drug that it gives you the same feeling in your body, except for you're not high.
Right.
Which you're
Makes you be able to
substituting.
function.
You're just substituting because let me tell you something. If he doesn't have his methadone, hmm, guess what happens?
Well,
He
oh,
gets drug sick.
and that's a sad thing too when you see someone who's drug sick. It is very sad.
Yeah.
But I'm good. What? Fentanyl help blood pressure? No. No. Fentanyl has another name, and it's one of the higher. It's up there. It's a painkiller.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's a painkiller right up
Yeah.
there with morphine and everything else. But the Chinese have figured out how they can up the levels, and they can mix it with this and that and something else. You never know what you're going to get.
You know, well, hello, Scott Brown. Welcome.
I just think,
Please
I just,
subscribe and like and share.
I just think, I just think that when people have had enough, they're going to have enough,
Yeah.
and they will stand up. I know a bunch of rednecks that are going to stand up, and it ain't going to be good.
And in the meantime, our youth is dying left and right. Parents are burying their children. I heard a story a year or two ago that a brother and sister were hooked. And by God, those parents had to bury both their kids in the same week. They overdosed together. Not intentionally,
No.
but they had to bury both of their kids. Now, how sad is that? You have
And that
people
was probably the very first time they did it, too. This is what I'm telling you. Fentanyl
one,
don't take no prisoners.
one had gotten clean and kind of stayed away, but then they got together and that was that. And they got a bad batch. Well, is there really a good batch? I mean, my opinion
Well,
is
Scott, it was nice for you to stop in. I just think that I don't know. Eventually, enough is going to be enough.
it boggles my mind. It boggles my mind. And I have asked the person I was talking about on the methadone, and I've asked a couple other people, where in your right mind does it cross your mind to even try it? I don't know what possesses you to even want to try it. I mean, where is it a good idea?
I'm going to tell you something that I learned not too long ago. Heroin, everybody was deathly afraid of heroin, tar heroin. They were scared to death of it. When I was growing up, if anyone would have mentioned they were on heroin, eyes turned and heads turned and eyes popped out of their head. You do what? While they're over there sniffing gasoline or sniffing paint or deodorant or whatever else they could huff. But heroin was cheap. It was cheap.
I've got two stories about that too.
And it
One,
was easy to get a hold of.
I was with my first husband. We were teenagers, probably, I don't know, 17. And we went to a friend of his to pick up some weed.
Mm-hmm.
And they're sitting there and they're cooking it up to get ready to inject it in their arm, and they're putting on their tourniquets. And I'm like, oh, I got to go.
Ooh, now.
And he's like, guys, I know this is your place, but can you wait until we leave? You're like freaking her out. And I believe it or not, they waited until we left.
That was kind. Most of them wouldn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. What do you mean it's not good for blood pressure?
Well, smoking it may not be, but taking the pill, a gummy may be. Because smoking anything ain't good for you. You can't take it into your lungs. Your
Right,
body, your blood pressure is going to go up no matter
right,
what you're smoking.
right. And then
Cigarettes will bring your blood pressure up.
the other story was that I was dating a guy and I went over to his house. He, you know, still lived at home. We were young, 18, 19, something like that. Maybe even not even 18, 19, more like 17, 18. And I went over his house and he wasn't home from work yet. And his brother was there and he's like, "Hey, can you give me a ride?" And I'm like, "Sure. Where do you?" He's like, "I'll give you $5 for gas." That was a lot of money back then.
Boy, that was back in the day.
And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, sure." And so I drove him and he ran into the house and came back out. And at the time, my boyfriend told me, he's like, "Don't you ever, ever drive my brother anywhere ever again because you drove him to buy smack.
Wow.
They'll get you. They will get you one way or another. They'll sweet talk you." I never in a million years did I ever think. He said he had to go pick up something. So, okay,
He
fine.
didn't tell you what, did he?
No, and I was 17. I was dumb.
Well, we were all dumb at 17. I got another good one for y'all that I want somebody to give me their honest opinion here because I want to know all you smart people out there, because you know I guess I'm as dumb as a box of rocks. But who are they polling for the presidential candidates? Who are they polling? They sure didn't poll me. They're not asking me.
Funny. Because they just did that here in Detroit.
Yeah, tell me about this. And Kamala, who only got 1% of the votes, guys. 1% when she was running against Biden. Think about that. She could only get 1% of the voters. So she had to drop out.
Well, they said
But
here.
now she's 20 points ahead of Trump.
No.
Really?
Explain this to me. Explain this
I
to
want
me.
somebody to explain that one to me because they sure didn't poll the right people.
I don't understand this one. They had amongst the probable voter Republicans, they would vote for Trump. But among the definite Democrats voting, they're voting for Harris.
Right. You know what, y'all? I don't believe one bit of that. I don't believe one bit of that. I'm going to put this out there. Here, let me tell you that 23% more people are going to vote for Kamala than they are Trump. Really?
And
really?
I really can't stand her talking through her nose. It drives me up a wall.
It's that cackle that gets me. You know, when they were doing the DNC, I got to say this. When they were doing the DNC and everybody is having such a hard time and they can barely make their bills and they're worried from day to day what's going to happen. And she's up there cackling saying, "I'm going to change it on day one." Well, lady, I got to tell you something. You've been there 3.5 years, almost 4 years, and you ain't changed a doggone thing yet. Exactly. You've only made it worse. And you think you can change it on day one? I'm sorry. My faith is gone.
Well, no. This is what'll happen. This is what would happen if she would have won, but she's not going to anyway. But this is what would have happened. She would sign something that says blah 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 blah. But on the back end, what you don't know
It's all
is that
pork
it's
that's in it.
take away blah 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 blah.
All the pork just along with it.
Yep. So that's what people don't understand. It's like, oh, Trump, Trump was building a wall, people. He was building a wall to keep them out. What makes you think that he would let people across the border? I mean, this is common sense. If he was building a wall and fought with them for the money to build a wall, why would he turn around 4 years later and be like, nah, just let him in, let him in?
Let me ask you a question. When you go to sleep at night, do you not lock your doors? Do you not lock your doors? In fact, I got news for you. I live so close to the border right now that I lock my doors in the daytime.
Look
All
at
right.
this.
Do you lock your car door? Of course you do. You don't want anybody in your car. That's what a wall's for. It's to lock the people out that we don't want in here.
And we used to sleep with our doors open, unlocked,
Yes.
and unlocked, because we didn't have central air. But look at this, Connie. Look at
I
the
saw
border.
that. He's
Look at the
absolutely
invasion.
right. He's
Complete
absolutely
failure.
right. Look at the border. Look at the invasion. Complete failure in the number 2 position. Me not qualified for the number 1 position. You're absolutely right. If you got a person that doesn't clean very well and they're cleaning your company's building or whatever, and they're not taking their job too serious, are you going to make them the new CEO? I don't think so.
Right.
Nobody's going to do that. Nobody's going to do that.
No. Mm-mm. It's just they tell you what you want to hear.
Oh, is that the new one? Is that the new one now, Royal Apple? Well, they want to change it to what?
A skull and crossbones.
Probably. Yeah, no, I'm not a Kamala fan. I'm sorry. You know what? I think my little Chihuahua that only weighs 3.5 pounds would be a better president than Kamala Harris. But you know what? My Chihuahua wouldn't be as good a puppet. Sorry, y'all. Had to say it.
Well, a lot of the states have already changed their flags.
Oh yeah, they have. They have. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you think Betsy Ross is happy about that?
They do resemble Palestine or the China flag. Yes, they do.
Yep.
Oh, yes, they do.
Yep. Well, that's because you know what? China's smart. They're coming in and they're buying our land. They're buying our buildings.
Too.
You know, we can't.
Can we go to China and buy land?
No. In fact, you know what? In China, you can't even own land. The people there can't even own land. It has to be handed down. And Japan don't have any land.
Well, we don't own our land either.
No, but I mean in Japan, you rent, period, because the families own and they hand it down. They don't have enough land.
They all live in those high-rise apartment buildings.
You can rent air in Japan. Come on. Now that is funny.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you got to buy air here when you fill your tires. You got to pay for air.
Ridiculous too.
$3 to fill your tires with air that you're breathing.
Everything's gone up.
It's ridiculous.
Everything is going up. Everything. That's why we said, y'all better start prepping. Better make it a serious thing because there's going to be some shortages.
Well,
they're right now not even using American money. Did you know that?
Yeah. Royal Apple already said that the toilet paper in California is short again.
What, do they eat it or what?
I don't know. I guess.
Yeah, we are. We're going to make the Great Depression look like a cakewalk.
I guess people think that they can barter with it. I don't know.
Maybe the preppers.
But you know what? here's my opinion. My opinion is this: there's nothing that you have that I want to barter to give to you for a roll of toilet paper.
No, use a
Just saying.
rag with water. You
Right?
do that to a baby.
We used to. We used to use, you know.
A washcloth and water.
But maybe I should put this out there. Psst, everybody buying the toilet paper, buy up the flushable wipes too.
Yeah, do that too. Okay, do it all.
Right.
But don't buy the food, because the one thing you're going to need most. Leave that on the shelf.
You know what? When you buy up the toilet paper and you buy up the paper towel and you buy up the flushable wipes, you are no better than the government with greed.
Right?
There, I said it.
Well, or you can just, you know what? You can make life a lot easier and just put a bidet in and be done with it. They're like $23.
Yeah, you need to get one of those water filters or get the pills that filter the water, Royal Apple. I think it's in 30 minutes, any water is drinkable.
There is a guy right now that Amanda Grace was talking about. She talked to, and he's got a water filter system, and you can hook it to underneath your sink, and it will take out everything that's dangerous right now. I think it runs about $300, but it'll take out everything that's
Yeah, both
dangerous.
of my boys were looking into one of those.
I was thinking about it.
Yeah, both of my boys were looking into those water filter systems. But it is what it is. The 200, 300.
Yeah, but you know what? 200 to 300 is a lot better than
Dehydrating.
200, 300 is better than a medical bill. Speaking of medical bills, howdy, that's another one that's gone skyrocketing. You know, you can't afford health insurance, but you can't afford to be sick either.
Nope.
We can put all this stuff in your water and in your food and everything else to make you sick, so that they can find one of their wonder pills to fix you.
Mm-hmm. Can I tell you something?
It's amazing to me.
When I was in the hospital, we called an ambulance because my son was home with Ellie Mae, and she was in her real fussy mode. So we called an ambulance. I finally got the bill to go 3 miles. 3 miles
Mm-hmm.
was $1,500.
I was going to say $1,500. Oh,
And
yeah.
they want me to pay 300 of it.
It's absolutely insanity,
Because
y'all.
it was not life threatening.
You know, if you have to buy your own insurance, it's astronomically expensive, and they don't cover a darn thing. Not one thing do they cover.
Nope. Because my insurance company, and I'm telling you, I don't know if it's all the insurance as opposed to the facilities, because my insurance, I just renewed my insurance, and it says this is covered at no charge, this is covered at no charge, this is covered at no charge, because I'm poor and I'm on Medicare. So, but
Right?
I
You're right. I believe that.
I changed it, and it's like this is all. And in my last policy, it was supposed to be covered 100% of an ambulance, life threatening or not. So you want to tell me why I have a $300 bill?
Well, as like Royal Apple said, you need so much money, and no insurance helps. You're right. Only the rich can get sick, and it ain't rich anymore. The rich now is considered the middle class.
Brad, please explain.
The toilet paper shortage was done so there wasn't a run on food.
Yeah.
So people didn't run out and get all the food. It was another plan. if we take toilet paper out and make a shortage of toilet paper, people are going to be freaking out, and not going to eat so much because they won't have to be able to wipe their butt.
Mm.
Can't eat so much. It's all in the name of the game, guys. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. We are a country that does nothing but import. We don't export anything. Now, business, not the last 4 years. And here's the thing: any business-minded business 101 says you have got to export to make money to import, or you're going to go broke. You can't import everything.
Yep. Yep. Well, I don't know. I don't, I do, but I don't understand how we let it get this bad.
Oh, I got a better one for you. Did you know, as much as I'm spending now for homeowners insurance because I didn't have a choice, they could skyrocket it to $1 million a month if they wanted to, because I don't have a choice here, right? Well, let me tell you this. If we went to war and they bombed me over here, I'd lose my house. And the insurance ain't going to cover it because they don't cover acts of war.
Right. I learned that when I lived by an Air Force base and learned that if well, here's another one. I lived by an Air Force base, and because it was military, if a plane were to have landed on my home, I wasn't covered because it would have been an act of war. What? It fell out of the sky.
Oh, it's pretty surprising what your homeowner's insurance really does cover and what it don't cover.
You got to watch those perils that they stick in there.
I'm going to tell you, when Harvey came in and it devastated a lot of people, I was pretty fortunate and didn't lose a whole lot, but I did lose fence around my house. And when they put in for that claim on my fence, they said I had to pay. It was like $2,000 of the fence. Well, how much do you think the fence cost? How much do you think the fence cost? It wasn't too much.
Was it metal or wood?
It was wood.
I would say it probably cost $1,000.
I think because it went around my whole, and then the guy next door, I think we got kind of, I think he kind of scammed us too, because half of it was on his side of the fence and he had to pay his half. And he came and got our money first. Telling you. You got to even watch your neighbors, because I think we gave him enough to cover his fence too. It's unbelievable, y'all. What American people are falling for, and we're allowing it. And we're allowing it. That's like we're cutting all our jobs out. Okay, so there's another thing. All right, so we're not exporting anything. We're importing everything, but we're exporting our jobs to other countries.
Right.
Now, I'm going to say something that's going to sound kind of stupid, but if you think about it, it's really not as stupid as it sounds. If an immigrant comes into the United States and they get a job, well, at least they got to pay rent and they got to buy our food, and they got to, at least they're putting a little bit of money into the economy, even though they're sending them at least a fourth of it back to their family members. The ones that we're exporting our jobs to, like in the Philippines, they don't live here. Guys, they don't live here. So they're helping their economy. They're not helping ours. They're buying their food and everything over there. And our money just keeps going over there. What makes sense? Why does that make any sense? It don't. It don't. The bottom line is not covering the bottom line.
I don't even remember the last time I saw some.
You just went quiet. And now you froze. Linda,
They,
you just you're freezing up, honey, and you're splotchy. You were doing really good for a little while. And now she's frozen, y'all. Or is it me? Maybe I'm frozen. It is freezing. There you go. Now you can talk.
the last time I saw something that said made in America, I think I was a kid.
Oh, we don't see things made in America.
I think I was a kid the last time I saw it. And I think I was a kid the first time I ever thought I ever saw anything that said made in China. Because I was like, China, that's a long ways away.
Well, it used to be China. Then it went to Mexico for a little while, and then it went to Taiwan. Remember everything? One time you saw it was made in Taiwan.
And then we had a run on Bangladesh for a while too, because we were trying to help Bangladesh.
And where's those shirts now? All the T-shirts are made in Indonesia or something. Where are they made in?
Indonesia.
I
love mine. I love my made in the USA T-shirt from Indonesia.
Guys. Hello. What part of that ain't right? What part of that ain't right? I don't get it, y'all.
You're right.
It ain't holding water. It's time that we all wake up and look around and see what's going on around us.
Right. Yeah.
Because, even the Bible says that one day you'll have to stand up.
Exactly right.
I'm going to ask y'all right now, think about this for just a second. In Revelations, it speaks of that one day the government will come in and remove all the Bibles from the homes. And you will not be allowed to own a Bible. Are you going to give it up that easy? I'm not. You're not going to tell me what I can read and what I can't read, and you're not taking my Bible. And another thing that they said is it will also be a day when they look at you and they say, do you believe in God? Because we're going to shoot you dead right now. We're going to shoot you dead right now if you say you believe in God. And
I'll meet my maker that day.
I will too. I'll say, go ahead. You know what? It's better than where I'm at right now. Go ahead.
Yep. Oh my goodness. It's that.
We touched everything tonight, didn't we, y'all?
Yes, we did.
I want to remind you that we will be covering the debate on the 10th of December. We're going to stream it. Oh my God, 10th of December. Did you hear that? That flew out without me even thinking about it. I wonder what's going on the 10th of December. Keep that date in your mind. On the 10th of September, we will be covering the debate.
With our little inputs.
Oh, of course. Of course. I'm going
to listen to both sides.
Yeah, we do. And I'm going to get me a good buzzer.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to get me maybe I'll get me a gong.
Yeah.
Put it right up behind me, and every time
you tell me if you're going to get a buzzer or a gong, and I'll get the other.
All right. And when they say we'll just gong them.
Or we could just have
we're gonna do some fun stuff. You watch. Every time Kamala lies, we're gonna gong them or press the dude,
because everything she says is going to be a lie.
I know. You know what? I will get my daily workout on that debate, because she will lie and lie and lie and lie and continue to lie. She lies like a rug anyway. It's the saddest thing I ever heard in my life. And she's how many points ahead?
I keep freezing, Connie.
All right, we're going to call it a night. We're going to call it a night, y'all, and we'll see you on Thursday. Y'all take care.
Say goodbye. Thank you for your support, and we'll see you back.
We'll see you on Thursday, y'all. You take care. And wake up, y'all. Stand up for what's right. Stand up for yourself and your family. All right? Nobody's coming in to save you. You're going to have to save yourself. Blessings to all. Y'all have a great night. Like and subscribe, please, on your way out the door. It was great having y'all.
Brad, thanks for coming and staying, and hopefully you subscribed and you'll share with your friends. I mean, we touch a lot of subjects, so you never know what you're going to get from us. You might get a main story, but Thursday night, I think, isn't that our true crime night?
Yep, Thursdays are true crime night, and I got some goodies to tell you about old Sarah Boone, but we'll wait till Thursday. Y'all take care. Good night.
Bye.